What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Delphmal Wow here, coming at you with some of the talent changes to the Hunters. That is specifically what I'm going to be maining in the next expansion, solely for the fact that I play Marksman right now. That's my main right now on live, and I think Survivable is going to be incredibly fun and hopefully keep up with the DPS of Marksman in a melee standpoint. But definitely, let's check it out and see. So I mean, you guys know, like, the talents are all the same right now, except for the last tier for pretty much every spec. So, you know, if you guys are Marksman, you guys get Lone Wolf, you know, Beastmaster, you get Adaptation, but, you know, Exotic Ammunitions and Focusing Shot are always going to be the same. But let's go ahead and dive into this. So, you guys already know, like, all the talents for this, you know, so, let's see. So for the 15 tier for Beast Mastery, we're going to be looking at One with the Pack. The chance for Wild Call to reset the cooldown of Dire Beast is increased by 10%. Now, I don't know what Wild Call is. I'm guessing that's going to be a new Beast Mastery ability. But, I mean, 10% chance to reset the cooldown of Dire Beast, not bad. Alright, so Wave the Cobra. For every pet or guardian you have active, Cobra Shot deals an additional 5% damage. That's really good. Like, if you read up on the Beast Mastery classes, it's like basically all revolved around like pets and shit. And you can have a certain amount out at a certain time. So I mean, you could basically get like 15-20% increased damage off of this. And then Dire Stable. Dire Beasts generate 4 extra focus when they attack. So, I mean, there you go. That's not terrible. I mean, I probably wouldn't use that one, but I mean, I'm not gonna play Beast Mastery in the next expansion. I'm just starting with this one. But, alright, so the 30 tier. Narrow Escape, which we already had. Disengage now has 2 charges. That's interesting. I like that. I mean, I find myself a lot... Yeah, I mean, just from a rating aspect, like, I do use my Disengage quite a bit. So I think having 2 charges isn't necessary, but I think it'll definitely be a decent, you know, talent to pick. And then Post-Haste, which we already have. Intimidation, Wyvern Sting, and Binding Shot. That is also something we already have. That's the 30 talent, you know, tier right here. So I don't think any of those changed. Alright, so now what's interesting to me is that you can get Chimera Shot in Beast Mastery, and that's like a Marksman skill. But this is the 60 tier talents. So the first one's going to be Stomp. When your Dire Beasts charge in, they will stomp the ground, causing 400 physical damage to all nearby enemies. So they basically get, you know, Thunderclap. Which, if you have, I think the Scorpion pet, he does that anyways. Except it doesn't do that much damage. And then Exotic Ammunitions, they already have it. You know, that's a 100 tier in live. Chimera Shot, a 2-headed shot that hits your primary target and another nearby target, dealing 660% nature or frost damage to each other, and it generates 10 focus for every target hit. Huh. So this generates focus. That's interesting. I think that'll be cool. I mean, like I said, I don't plan on playing Beast Mastery, but I do like the changes to it. I think it's gonna be incredible. I think Blizzard's doing extremely well with their new ideas for this expansion. Let's see, Blink Strikes, they already have. Big Game Hunter in the 75 tier. It increases the critical strike chance of your auto attacks and Cobra Shots by 50% on targets who are above 8% health. So a decent burst aspect to it, which will be good, I think. But again, I'm not interested in Beast Mastery. I personally find the spec boring, so I don't play it. But I do think that's interesting. Yeah, that'll be good. Alright, Bestial Fury. Increase the damage bonus of Bestial Wrath by 20%. That will be awesome. I think most people will probably take that. But let's see what else we have here. Alright, so for the 90 tier, Murder of Crows is back, which is right there. We have that already. And Barrage, of course, we have that as well. But Volley is new. Volley is new. Continuously fire a volley of ammo at the target area, causing 50 arcane damage to an enemy target with... Oh, it's They're bringing volley back. How about that? I miss volley. Volley used to be, like, a very awesome hunter skill. Yeah, like, back in, like, Vanilla and Burning Crusade and shit, that was, like, their multi-shot, basically. Like, volley, you would... It was an AoE. It was like a little circle that you'd put on the ground, and it would fire arrows right there. So that's cool. Alright, so Stampede we already have. You know, summon forth a herd of stampeding animals from the wilds around you. Yeah, okay, Killer Cobra. So, while Bestial Wrath is active, Cobra Shot has a 25% chance to reset the cooldown of Kill Command. I mean, resetting the cooldown of Kill Command, like, that's probably going to be really epic, actually. Alright, and then Aspect of the Beast. Oh my, this is a big one. Alright. Alright, so Kill Command is improved based on the talent choice of your pet. Alright, very cool. So Ferocity gives the command to kill, causing your pet to instantly inflict 1.5 times 0 time plus range attack power, blah 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 math. So give the command to kill, causing your pet to instantly inflict a certain amount of damage to its target and causing it to bleed for 219.6% of attack power damage over 6 seconds. So it makes them bleed. That's cool. Tenacity, and reduce damage taken by 15% for 3 seconds. Not bad. And then Cunning, you get slowing. It slows until it's canceled. So that's pretty cool. All right, so that was Beast Mastery. Not bad. I mean, I still don't think that's really gonna spark my interest in it. Let's go to Marksman, the next one. I'm probably gonna main Marksman. I'm definitely gonna try Survival. I think it looks fun. It looks like a blast. If I do like it, I'll probably stick with it. But let's go ahead and go over this. The one thing I like about Marksman right now is that in WoD you get Lone Wolf, which Lone Wolf is incredible. While you don't have a pet active, your damage dealt with Auto Shot, Arcane Shot, Cobra Shot, Black Arrow, and Explosive Shot is increased by 30%, and you are able to provide one of the several beneficial effects to your party in raid, which is pretty awesome, because if you look here, under Marksman, I have different buffs I can provide. So you've got like Mastery, Fortitude, this is Crit, Haste, Spell Power, Stats, you know, Versatility, and Multi-Strike. So I can literally give one of the buffs that isn't included in the, you know, whichever buff we don't have in the group at the time. But alright, let's dig into this for Marksman, man. This is one thing I like, is that we're actually gonna get Black Arrow. Cause like I guess with Legion they're changing Survival Hunters to a melee class, and from what I understand they're putting a lot of the survival stuff into Marksman, which is cool. Which is why I feel like down here there's Lock and Load and all that, you know. Lock and Load, Black Arrow, that was all survival abilities. So I'm definitely excited for that. But alright, so Black Arrow fires a Black Arrow at the target, dealing damage over time, basically. Can't say I'd pick that, maybe, depending on these next two, but I'm definitely curious to see, because I mean, it's an instant cast, 24-second cooldown, 35 focus. It'd have to really do a decent bit of damage for me to want a 30-second cooldown. Next is Momentum. When any of your attacks cause a critical strike, there's a chance the cooldown of Disengage will be reduced by 10%. That's not bad. That's not bad, I think. I think that'll be good for PvP. And then True Aim. For every successive Arcane, Marked, or Aim shot used to attack the same target, those shots deal 2% more damage to the target, stacking up to 20 times. Can only affect one target at a time. That's... wow. Alright. I mean, that's a 40% damage increase if you... that, PvE-wise, will probably be my choice. Alright, so for the next tier, again, Post Haste, Fire Strider, and Narrow Escape, which we already have. And, oh man, can you imagine, like, these two together? 2 charges and a 10% chance to reduce the cooldown. That'll be interesting. Alright, so here we have Wyvern Sting and Binding Shot, which is kind of like this. The only thing different is that now we have Camouflage instead of Intimidation. So let's go ahead and see. You blend into the surroundings and gain Stealth for 1 minute. While Camouflage, you will heal for 2% every 1 second. The first range attack dealt while Camouflage will deal 10% extra damage. That is interesting. I like the heal aspect of it alone. Can be used in combat though. I mean, that's my. I would imagine maybe so. But, I mean, it doesn't say, so we'll see. I think that's definitely viable, though. I mean, just to open up on something, you know, get that 10% extra damage on your first ability. I think that'll be good. Alright, so this next tier, piercing shots, that's new. Your critical strikes with arcane shot, mark shot, and aim shot cause the target to bleed for an additional 30% of the initial damage over 8 seconds. That's not terrible. That's not bad. And then exotic ammunitions again. And then broadside. Aim shot will now also hit all vulnerable targets for 100% physical damage. That's interesting. That's cool. It's kind of like adding to the AoE aspect of things, I guess. That's not bad. Not bad, I like that. I think piercing shots will probably be my choice, but it'll all depend on how the damage actually looks like when it goes live. Alright, so for this next tier, looks like all new abilities, except for steady focus, but... Alright, so light 'em up. Targets affected by your flare take extra damage from all of your attacks. I think that might be PvP, because no one uses flare in PvE. Next is headshot. Powerful shot, which deals 820 plus 1 combo point physical damage to the target and 220 plus 1 time its combo points percent physical damage to all enemies between you and the target. So, I'm guessing Marksman's going to have combo points now. That's interesting. So basically, it's a shot that deals damage per combo point, and then more damage to any enemies between you and the target. So that's cool. I actually do like that. And then there's steady focus. So using arcane shot twice in a row increases your focus regeneration by 50%. That's cool. I guess I think that's already in Beast Mastery. Or no, actually, that's in Survival already, I think. But I don't know. That's a decent one, I suppose. Alright, so for the next tier, Murder of Crows, which we already have, Barrage, and then Volley again. That's very cool. I like that. I love having, Volley back. I don't like how expensive it is. 80 focus is a lot. I think I'd rather just keep Barrage, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm very excited to have it back, though. Alright, so for the 100 tier for Marksman, Dark Ranger. Your ranged attacks and attacks which deal damage over time now have a chance to summon a Dark Minion. The Dark Minion will attack your current target. That sounds cool. I don't care who you are. That sounds cool as fuck. Alright, Kill Flip. For 8 seconds after disengaging, whoa. 8 seconds, you do 50% more damage. Wow. That's pretty cool. And then Lock and Load. Attach an explosive charge to aimed shot, dealing so much damage, additional fire damage to the target and all enemies within 4 yards. Your ranged attacks have a your ranged auto attacks have a 5% chance to trigger Lock and Load, causing your next 2 aim shots to cost no focus and be instant. So that's cool. That's actually, I mean, I'd be curious to see how the Dark Ranger looks. Just because they gave it like the Sylvanas portrait. I wouldn't know if it looks like Sylvanas. No, that's awesome then. Alright. Final one is going to be Survival. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, mind you that Survival is completely different in this expansion. It's not ranged anymore. It's all melee. They use it's all based off like trapping, melee attacks, and your pet. So it's completely different. So some of these might seem a little weird or different, but understand that the whole spec of Survival is a completely different thing now. Alright, so let's see. Animal Instincts in the first tier. When you attack with Flanking Strike, you gain the instinct of your pet, providing you with a random combat enhancement. That doesn't sound bad at all. That sounds pretty cool, actually. Reduce cooldown of all traps by 15 seconds. That's cool. And then attacking with Raptor Strike grants you a stack of Machnathal Tactics, increasing your attack power by 5% for 8 seconds. Stacks up to 5 times. Well, that sounds cool. I guess 40% increased attack, or I'm sorry, it's 25, math fail. I guess 25% increased attack power is definitely not bad. Alright, so again, Outpost, Haste, Far Strider, and then Dash is new. The duration of aspect of the cheetah, okay, yeah, so, I mean, I think that's pretty much going to be the same for every tier. It's just these kind of like movement ones for the PvP aspect. Not bad, I guess. Alright, so for the 45 tier, let's get into this. Caltrops. Caltrops. Scatter caltrops on an area. Enemies who step on a caltrop will take 500 physical damage and be slowed for 50% for 10 seconds. Replaces tar trap. Very cool. PvP, I guess, for that. Steel trap. Hurl a steel trap to the target location that immobilizes the first enemy that approaches for 8 seconds and deals 1000% of attack power bleed damage over 20 seconds. Damage from other sources may break the immobilization effect. The trap exists for 1 minute, and this replaces freezing trap. So you're basically giving up other traps to get these. And then Ranger's Nest. Hurl a net at your enemy, reducing movement speed by 50% for 15 seconds. And this replaces a wing clip. It costs focus, and it's a 1 second cooldown. But I think it gives you 40-yard range. So I mean, if you're being like, you know, trained by like a fucking rogue or something, I guess you can just, you know, disengage away and toss that at them, and I mean that's cool. That's interesting. I like that. Alright, so for the 60 tier, we have camouflage again, just not bad. Throwing axes. Toss 3 axes at your enemy, dealing 60% of attack power, physical damage for each axe. You get 2 charges. I probably won't use this. Maybe. We'll see. I'm very curious to see how it is. 15-second recharge, 2 charges. We'll see. Alright, the next one in this tier is going to be Sticky Bomb, where you hurl a sticky bomb at your target, which sticks to them and explodes after 3 seconds, dealing 1 damage to nearby enemies and knocking them down. Now, it says 1 damage in this, but obviously it's going to do more than that. But that's cool. You know, a little knockdown. So that'll be interesting. I could definitely see that working with, you know, Ranger's Nest. You know, knock them down, and then as they're away, you're trying to get away, just Ranger's Nest them. That's interesting. Not bad at all. Alright, so in this next tier, 75 tier, we have Dragon's Fire Trap. You hurl a Dragon's Fire Trap to the target location that explodes, setting the enemy aflame, inflicting damage over 8 seconds, and sending it into a state of panic. So I guess this is like Dragon's Breath, perhaps? While the target is affected, the flames periodically scorch its nearby allies for fire damage as well. And that exists for 1 minute. Oh, okay, so it replaces Explosive Trap. But I feel like it's going to be kind of like Dragon's Breath, just because it says in a state of panic. Alright, so we also have Thrill of the Hunt. You have a 6% chance per 10 focus spent on focus costing attacks to trigger Thrill of the Hunt, which we already knew. Okay, so we already have Thrill of the Hunt. So I'm not actually sure why we would have it for the melee spec, but maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Next is Snake Hunter, which instantly grants you 3 charges of Mongoose Bite. That actually sounds like a good cooldown for either burst in PvP or just to nuke the shit out of a boss. I think that's going to be a really good cooldown. Alright, so in the 90 tier, we have Butchery, which is Laceration will now spread to all targets hit by Carve. Okay, that's pretty cool. So I'm guessing you lacerate one person and then you carve and it'll put it all over. Very awesome. Next is Mortal Wounds. So when your laceration period deals damage, when your laceration periodic deals damage, there's a chance you will gain a charge of Mongoose Bite. Boy, I feel like we are going to be severely revolved around Mongoose Bite. I like that though. I feel that actually might be a really good talent to take. And the next is Serpent Sting. Targets hit by your Raptor Strike and Carve are also afflicted by Serpent Sting, dealing a percentage of your attack power nature damage over 15 seconds. I'm so curious to try these talents out. Like, I'm so excited. I can't wait for the beta to come out and just freaking play the shit out of Survival. Alright, so in the final tier, we have a Sentry Turret. It's a 1 minute cooldown. It's an instant cast. Summons a Sentry Turret for 15 seconds that shoots at nearby enemies, dealing fire damage. So, I guess they're kind of like making survival hunters kind of like engineers. I mean, you think like traps and shit, so why not? Alright, so Expert Trapper. All of your traps are improved in the following way. So, freezing trap. Whenever it breaks, the victim and all nearby enemies' movement speed are reduced by 50% for 4 seconds. So, if anyone's like, you know, near where the person got frozen at, whenever the freeze ends, they'll all be slowed. That's pretty cool. For Explosive Trap, the damage dealt by the fire left on the ground after the explosion is increased by 500 per second. So it's just an increase on the explosion, or on the DPS, or the damage per second from the leftover fire. So tar trap, enemies moving through the tar have a chance to be rooted in place for 4 seconds. Steel trap, when your steel trap is triggered, the target will also take 500 physical damage. That's cool. And then dragon's fire trap. The dragon's fire now spreads to nearby enemies, causing them to burn and panic as well. So that's, yeah, that's basically making it dragon's breath, because it's an AoE and it makes them panic and all that. So alright, so aspect of the beast. Kill command is improved based on the talent choice of your pet. So you have ferocity. Oh wait. Oh, this was, yeah, okay. So this was in Beast Mastery as well. Same thing. You know, ferocity, it adds a bleed. Tenacity, you take 15% less damage. And cunning, you slow them until it's canceled. And that's a 25-yard range. So very interesting. I'm definitely excited to actually dive in deep into the survival hunter and really get a good look at, you know, the talent choices, how they're gonna work together, see how they work, you know, with different abilities and different things like that. Like Snake Hunter and I think Mortal Wounds are gonna be huge for like doing big damage, because I'm not 100% positive, but I think Mongoose Bite's probably gonna be your bigger source of damage. So if you can get like 3 charges of it and then, you know, have a constant one up from laceration damage, yeah, I think it'll definitely be interesting to see how it all coincides together. But alright guys, well, thank you so much for watching. The next video I do will probably be mages, them, or maybe paladins. That's probably gonna be the other 2 that I level up after my hunter. So stick around, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video.